Hi, I'm Dr. April Westerfield. I have created this channel to kind of have a spot to put all of the responses to many questions that I get each week. So I am first and foremost the mother of a child with a disability. I also worked as a special education teacher, a special education administrator, a building principal, and longtime advocate. I just get asked a lot of questions just based on what I've done for a living and how I've spent my time. I also teach some adjunct courses for teachers who are just starting the process. So I just get asked questions often, and I thought, you know what if I just put together some videos that might help educators when it comes to data collection, writing present levels of performance, connecting all pieces of the IEP so that they're seamless and make sense and that it's an actual workable plan. Transition planning, that's my big passion. So do some things on transition plans and how to make those meaningful and not just checking the box. I'm not saying that anyone does it intentionally, but sometimes there's a lot of paperwork. And then also for parents, right? So I've sat on both sides of the IEP table. I have had difficult meetings where as the parent, I felt like no one was listening to me, or maybe as the parent, I had been maybe a little too passive, or maybe a little too assertive. So maybe just some tips on how to make those meetings go better, what the legalities are for the school, and what the reasonable expectations are for them. Also, though, how to be heard. So maybe what you're asking for is pie in the sky, and maybe the legal requirements that the school must do is under pie in the sky, but maybe there's a way to just get closer so that there's a plan that you're both able to live with and that will show academic progress for your child. There's just going to be videos on everything. So I'm going to talk about data collection. I'm going to talk about, as I mentioned, present levels. I'm going to talk about what do goals look like. I'm going to talk about things that, as a special education administrator, being the LEA for a meeting, I would be sitting in a meeting and I would cringe at some things that would be said by teachers. Not that they were doing anything overtly wrong or even trying to do anything that was out of line. It was just things that would send a mixed message, maybe, to parents. So kind of how to avoid those mixed messages. And just tips, but in a laid back way. So yeah, I introduced myself Dr. April Westerfield because I'm proud of that. I worked hard for that, but I'm just April. I answer a lot of questions for people. I like to have a little bit of levity. The most common answer in special education is, it depends. And that's true. So I hope this channel just kind of helps you navigate it depends to make the best possible plan and do the best possible things we can for students. And I hope as parents, maybe you will learn some different things because you know your child best, but as far as the special education side of things, or maybe just, I hadn't thought of it that way, because no one gives you a rule book for being a parent. And there are a little bit of rule books for being a parent of a child with a disability when it comes to the disability part. But still, advocating is a full-time job, and it's exhausting, and it's hard, especially if you don't feel heard. So I'm just hoping that this channel is helpful for educators, helpful for parents, maybe even helpful for administration. Sometimes your LEA, your person who's sitting in to make sure the plan is correct and going well, maybe they don't have a special education background, because sometimes building principals are often the LEA, assistant principals are often the LEA, and they're only typically required to take one true special education class. So they're talking about the building as a whole, which is very important stuff, very, very important stuff. But maybe these videos could be helpful in guiding LEAs that maybe don't have a full-on special education background to understand why we do what we do when we do it. So I hope there's something useful here for you, no matter where you are in your journey or which side of the table you're sitting on. And I am always open to suggestions. I love, love, love to talk all things advocacy, all things special education, all things students. So if nothing else, take my email, email me, we'll Zoom, we'll chat. It is great to be here, and I hope I can help somehow.